Good afternoon, good day, good everything. I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my review of Wonder Woman 1984, which was released on Christmas Day, both in theaters and on HBO Max. And so I'm going to be giving you guys a non-spoiler review. Please let me know if you prefer the spoiler reviews or the non-spoiler reviews. With the non-spoilers, I had to be a little bit more filtered, and so I don't mind. It's just going to be a little less detailed than the spoiler one, because obviously I don't want to give away any critical pieces of the story. But regardless, in the future, with every review that I provide, I will have the opposite version on my blog. I would say the first thing that I really liked about the movie was the costuming. Not necessarily the costuming of Wonder Woman's in her Wonder Woman attire, but the costuming of the 1980s. So they did very well in exhibiting the 1980s flair of fashion, which was, you know, vibrant colors, odd shapes, odd patterns, you know, track suits, Converses and Vans, things like that. It really served the purpose of showing the different characters, and I don't mean characters in the movie, I just mean characters in life and what they could potentially have worn in the 80s, and also had a nostalgia factor, which is interesting because I was not born in the 80s, you know. I was born in the 90s, very late, but baby girl, I made it. I'm from the other millennia. I'm from a previous millennia. And that's on. Anyways, but I'm not from the 80s. So I don't really know how it provided me nostalgia, but I felt like Thriller just dropped. Like we lit, we in the 80s. Like Prince just dropped Purple Rain. Like we feeling good. Bop, bop, bop. It was giving. It was giving. It was giving. And so they did well with the sets. They did that with the costuming. It was giving, it did what it needed to do in terms of the 80s. I would have liked to hear more 80s music and more 80s nostalgic movies, like things that would have been big at this moment in the 1980s, but they did do a good job of representing 80s culture, because there's a scene in the beginning in the mall. I'm not going to dive into the specifics, but there's like hordes of people eating fast food, and the advent of fast food and sort of like the beginning of the McDonald's and the craze for fast food was during that time. So this is, well, I think, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's when McDonald's and all those places really started sprouting up. If I'm wrong, my apologies to Burger King and Wendy's and the brothers at McDonald's. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong, but it did show little pieces of culture. Some things weren't just in your face glaring. Some things were in your face glaring, like, all right, we're giving you 80s, and other things were very subtle. Another thing that I really liked about the movie was the opening scene. It shows a young Diana before, you know, the Wonder Woman craze, partaking in an activity. I thought it was very captivating. It set a tone for the movie that I thought was going to follow. It did not, but I think that I would have loved to see that movie, essentially. Like the opening scene, if that was supposed to be a suggestion or a foreshadowing of what the larger themes of the movie were going to be about, the tone, if the opening scene was supposed to be indicative of that, that's the movie I would have wanted to watch. Another high of the movie was Barbara. So she's played by I don't know the certain name, but another character that was really good in my opinion was Barbara. So she plays Diana's friend in the movie. I think her acting was pretty good, and what I really liked about her is she brought a comedic flair to the movie. She brought personality to the movie, and she brought a flavor that Diana does not have. And the last positive of the movie for me was the villain. His name is Maxwell Lord in the movie. And the character itself wasn't scary. I don't think as a villain, he was very villainy in terms of like what he was trying to do was just the worst thing in the world, and he was so powerful. No. I don't see any of that. Maxwell Lord was a very one-dimensional villain. He had a bad thing he wanted to do, and he portrayed that. Like, the actor played him very well. He was very basic. What you see is what you get. He was played it with a lot of flair, flavors of, or hints and notes of bravado that he played very well. And so shout out to that actor. He did what needed to be done with the material that was provided to him. Now let's get into what just didn't really work for the movie. So the first thing, sort of going off of what I said earlier about why Barbara worked very well in the movie, Wonder Woman is the opposite, the complete opposite of an interesting person. Like, yeah, she has powers. Yeah, she's gorgeous. But Wonder Woman, do you laugh? Wonder Woman, what do you do for fun? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Like, why do I care about you being a superhero besides the fact that you have abilities and you're gorgeous? Hey, like, Iron Man was multi-dimensional. He gave us, I mean, when you hear of Iron Man, like, you know from jump. I mean, he was funny, he was cocky, he had a dark background. Like, we understood his behavior, and he was captivating. I was captivated by Iron Man. Diana's like, okay, why am I rooting for you? I'm not. 2, the plot is pretty subpar. Like, there's so many moments where it's just so slow. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it realistically could have been a 90-minute movie in and out, because there's about an hour of it being trying to be like The Notebook, trying to be like Titanic. I didn't come here to see a romantic comedy. This is an action movie. Where's the fight? Where's the action? Come on. There are maybe like 6 fight scenes in the movie, and 2 or 3 of them are intense. What's going on? This is a superhero movie, an action movie, and we're getting 3 big fights in the movie, and they're not even that big. They're pretty, I could have partaken in them, okay? And I'm not Wonder Woman. So why are we getting a Wonder Woman movie, and the majority of the time it's gossip, love stories, relationship, oh, my heart, oh, my love, hello? Where are the guns? I want to see somebody get, like, slapped. Okay, so basically because of them not having enough action scenes in the superhero movie, it ends up playing like some like just this weepy story, but that's not the story that we're here to see. There's no reason why the movie needed to be 2 hours and 25 minutes if for an hour and 30 of it, it's just going to be a bona fide Christmas love movie. Like, the plot wasn't very, there was no urgency. There was no urgency. Like, Wonder Woman just didn't seem like she really wanted to solve the problem, because she knew the problem wasn't a big one. Like, the problem itself was pretty mid. Like, who came up with this? I know in the comic books they had other problems with Wonder Woman that y'all could have picked up. I know for a fact this came straight from their minds. There's no way they came up with this. There's no way that this was in the comics. If this was in the comics, whoever wrote this comics should be ashamed of themselves, because there's no way. The plot, it just wasn't there. What exactly about this problem tells you that you want to dedicate $200 million to writing a movie about this plot? I'm not understanding, because the plot itself is slow. it doesn't, it makes sense, it does make sense, but a lot of the concepts aren't really explained. They're picked up and dropped instantly. As soon as they're picked up, 5 minutes later, boom, they have a solution, boom, they have an explanation, and we never dive deeper into it. So there's all this background about this problem that they never introduce. They do introduce, but they never dive deep into why. You're mentioning gods, you're mentioning lore, you're mentioning ancient civilizations. All right, let's get into that. Let's unpack what's going on. Hello, we want to hear about that. Tell us more about that. Show us more about that instead of the other stuff. We don't want to see all that romantic comedy stuff. We want to see, tell us more about those gods you were talking about. Tell us more about, hello, please. Hey, you talking about civilizations, let's get into it. Flashbacks, something. Because I'm so sorry. No. Like this is not like the plot is just so, I'm not interested in the problem. And as a fundamental to screenwriting is identifying a problem that feels worth solving. If the problem isn't worth solving, then the movie isn't worth creating. Because what exactly are you writing about? And so along with that, I didn't mention this earlier, but Wonder Woman is also not really utilized in Wonder Woman's capacity. Well, at the beginning of the movie. And this is described in the description. But basically at the beginning of the movie, she's basically like Dwight Schrute, like a security officer. She's helping people do she's saving people from meaningless accidents. Like somebody, this is not in the movie, but somebody is about to pour a burning cup of coffee on them. Wonder Woman will swoop in and stop the coffee from burning you. That's basically what she's doing for the first 10 minutes of the movie. And again, this is described in the description, so please don't kill me. But like, I'm not gonna explain the exact thing she's doing, but she's doing tasks like that. Wonder Woman, baby girl. It's been 60 years since the previous movie, and this is all you've been doing since then. You telling me this is what you've been doing for the last 60 years. All these problems in the world, and Wonder Woman is out here saving dogs and cats from trees. You're a home monitor. Like, baby girl, you wasted all this talent on monitoring like what's going on, huh? Folks is marching on Selma, and where's Wonder Woman? Where were you at when folks was in Montgomery, Wonder Woman? Let's have a dialogue. Where were you then? Because you can't tell me you're out here. Well, where were you at when we were fighting in lunch counters, Wonder Woman? What were you doing then? Let's have a dialogue. Because the stuff you're doing now is useless. What's the point of you being a superhero if you're not freeing folks? Okay? See, it's my problem with Wonder Woman, bruh. She's wasting her powers. Let me get those powers. This is see, they know better. The thing I didn't like about the movie was that the solution was really easy. And it was very cringy. But if I take off of my critical screenwriter lens or whatever, I'm gonna keep reminding you guys that I'm a screenwriter. Anyways, if I take off my critical lens, coming from a perspective of somebody who wants to do this from a living, the solution was cringy, but it was also really heartwarming. It was really sweet. I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to show humanity at its finest. And so, you know, the ending was hopeful. It was cute. The solution was cute. But when I bring myself back to, you know, reality, no. I need all involved in writing this movie to come forward and answer for the crimes. You're going to jail. Because there's no way 3 people wrote this movie. Dozens of executives read over it and said, this is the one. We got us a movie. We got us a movie. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Because, like I said, the plot was so useless. There are moments where I was on my phone. There are moments where I wasn't paying attention because what was on the screen had nothing to do with anything. And so if I can look at my phone for 10 minutes while your movie is playing, and when I look back up, I still understand what's going on and I'm not confused, you have not written a good movie. It's it's kind of clear, right? Like the movie, if I cannot watch 10-20 minutes of your movie and still understand what's going on and still understand where the plot is, and or if I can look away for 20 minutes and nothing has advanced, I question things. I really question the effort. Not saying I really question the strength of the script. And I will say there's some parts of the script that work. The dialogue is really good. There's a good opening scene, and like I said, the ending scene, although cringy and too easy, was very heartwarming. So there are parts of this movie that work well, and there are other parts that are just such a miss. And if this was a spoiler review, I would get into it, but I'm not going to. And so my final thoughts, though, I will say for the parts that captivated my attention, I was engrossed. I did want to see the solution. It caught my attention. And every movie doesn't have to be Oscar worthy, especially not a superhero movie. I don't need a superhero movie. I believe this won an Oscar, which by the way is very skewed, very biased. The Oscars aren't really shouldn't be the totem for, you know, film success, but yeah. But every movie doesn't have to be award worthy, and so this is one of those movies. This is one of those movies. Yeah, it's fun. I see what they're trying to do. I see what they tried to do. I don't regret watching it. Like for example, after I finished watching Cats, I literally wanted to become a cat and go attack the people who disrespected my people. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to start a cat rebellion because that movie was so bad, right? Like I can't get it out of my mind after watching Cats. I just see, that's one of those movies where I'm just like, never. But this is not one of those movies. This is one of those movies where if you have HBO Max and you have some free time, or if you want to continue the story of Wonder Woman that you saw the first time, then I would say, yeah, you should watch Wonder Woman 1984. And not necessarily if you liked the first one, because I did not like the first Wonder Woman, and I think this one was better. So that says a lot, but a lot of people have opposite opinions, so I may be in the minority regardless. If you're also just bored, did I already say that? I don't know. But if you're looking to form your own critical opinion of it, or if you want to see some of the things that I'm talking about, then also watch it. I don't suggest buying HBO Max just so you can watch this movie. Don't do that. Definitely not. But if you have free time and it's safe to, like for example, they're offering it in a drive-in movie near you, which is, you know, you drive your car in and you watch, like there's one near me. Yeah, go watch it, you know. It's not that bad. And I did go off on them, but I would say the movie is a 6 out of 10. maybe 5.5, but yeah, 5.5, 6 out of 10, just because I was entertained for a good portion of it. And like I said, I love the costuming. The 80s and 70s are my 2 favorite eras. All in all, 6 out of 10. If you're interested, or if you saw the first Wonder Woman and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to see my girl, watch it. And if you don't have any, if you're not like pressed to watch it, or if you don't think it's gonna be good, don't waste your time. So yeah, thank you for watching. My next movie review will be up. When it's up, I want to do a review on Soul. We'll get into that. We'll get into that next time. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take some time today to heal, to reflect, to eat some good food. Hit up somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Have good conversation. Just do something that's going to be good for your mental health today. Tonight, whenever you're watching this, I don't know the time. So thanks for tuning in.